In this solid waste collection transport, the different factors considered for using collection methods, that it includes types of containers, then container locations, public health, aesthetics, collection of solid waste. These are the factors which are considered in the solid waste collection. The types of collection, this was studied municipal collection services and commercial industrial collection services. The municipal collection services that include the solid waste which is collected from the residential buildings, houses, in which the waste is collected by placing the containers at the curb side, near alley lines, straight out and straight backyard collection. These methods are seen in commercial industrial collection services that includes large movable and stationary containers and large stationary compactors which are used for industrial purposes for collection of the waste from industries. These are the large containers and vehicles which are used for collection of the solid waste. The biomedical waste collection vehicle. There are the green color and blue color containers for the collection of the solid waste. The image which shows the collection which is done in these containers. Workman which is this solid waste in this in the waste vehicle. Okay. The waste which is collected from the industry. This is vehicle in which the waste is dumped. These are the containers, blue box, yellow bag, blue bag, in which this waste is collected. In blue box, the glass bottles, medical waste, plastic bottles that are collected in this blue box. Then paper boxes or any materials, plastic materials that are dumped into this yellow bag. In blue bag, newspapers or any papers, etc. is dumped into this blue bag. Then we have in treatment methods and disposal of the solid waste. What are the different methods are used for treatment and disposal? In that, it includes these 5 methods: composting, incineration, landfilling, pyrolysis, and recycling. That first method you have seen, composting method. This hierarchy of this solid waste management, in which near to the apex there are least preferred methods that includes landfilling method, incineration, resource recovery. These are the waste disposal methods. Waste disposal methods. And most preferred methods are recycling method, reuse, and source reduction. At the base is the most preferred method. The apex, towards the apex of this triangle, least preferred methods is there. The first method was in composting, in which the organic matter of solid waste, which is decomposed and decayed, and it is converted into humus and mineral compounds, from which after decomposition the fertilizer, it is converted into fertilizer in product. After composting, the compost is made. That compost is used as a fertilizer. Kind of fertilizer. The खत म्हणून यूज केलं जातं. खत म्हणून वापरलं जातं. For the growing of the crops, this is used as a fertilizer. That it has three methods: composting by trenching, open windrow composting, mechanical composting. There are the three methods. This is composting by trenching, in which trenches are excavated with size 3 to 12 meter long, 2 to 3 meter wide, width is 2 to 3 meter, length is 12 up to 12 meter, and depth is 1 to 2 meter deep. And spacing between these trenches is kept 2 meter. These are the images of trenches which are excavated with a desired size, in which the dry waste is filled up to 15 centimeter, and on that layer 5 centimeter thick animal dung is sprayed, and in this way the layer by layer is which is filled up, and it is allowed for biological action for 2 to 3 days. It is kept for decomposition. Decomposition starts after 2 to 3 days. Biological activity will start after laying these layers. Biological activity start होते. The insect or any small insect present in the soil that will consume that solid waste, and that there are kinds of biological action, and the decomposition will start. Decomposition of the solid waste, and it is after 4 to 6 months solid waste gets stabilized, and it is changed into the brown color. The color of that compost solid waste that will change after 4 to 6 months, and it is converted into humus. काय फॉर्म होते? Humus or mineral compounds. That is converted into mineral compound, humus. So that due to this, what happens? It is converted into a fertilizer. So the खत म्हणून वापरलं जातं. Compost fertilizer is formed. This is composting by trenching. पण समजलं का? Composting म्हणजे काय? In open window composting, in which this a pile is formed with the size 1 to 2 meter its width and 6 meter its length, and height is up to 1 meter, and it is dumped on the ground. The groundwork जमिनीवरती dump केलेला, in which contains organic matter, excluding the glass, stone, plastic articles that are removed from the organic waste. And the moisture content is maintained at 60%. Temperature is increased in the side pile, and it is allowed to cool and aerated to avoid anaerobic decomposition. This process may take 4 to 6 weeks or 2 to 3 months are required for this composting of this organic waste. And in mechanical composting, in which the mechanical equipments are used. See this vehicle carries the solid waste and it is dumped into this belt conveyor which carries the solid waste. Through these various processes, it will go under this various processes. Screening is done, shredding is done, drying is done. In screening, the material is separated. The combustible material, biodegradable material, non-biodegradable material that are separated. Hazardous waste and non-hazardous waste are separated. Liquid waste and dry waste, solid waste that is separated. Screening is done and it is sent to landfill. 10% is sent to landfilling. Shredding is done. Drying of solid waste is done in this container and it is sent to gasifier, 85% to gasifier for making the pulp, paper, plastics, for organic material that are taken out. And from this waste, the aluminum and ferrous metals that, which are carried to this vehicle, which contains 5% of the metals. This is a mechanical composting. And the incineration, which involves the burning of organic substances, combustion of the organic substances contained in waste material. त्यालाच काय म्हणायचं thermal treatment. So this incineration of waste material into the incinerators. Incinerators मध्ये ते जे वेस्ट मटेरियल्स आहेत ते काय केलं जातं, हीट केलं जातं, बर्न केलं जातं, and it is converted into ash, flue gas and heat. Incinerators used in this process is a flow chart of incineration. इथून solid waste है, unrecyclable municipal solid waste or mixed solid waste. कुठे आहे? आणले का documents? Through this, it is dumped into this combustion chamber and it is heated at the temperature more than 850 degrees Celsius. The combustion is the solid waste which is deposited in this combustion chamber. इथे त्याला काय केलं जातं, जाळलं जातं. This incineration, in this incinerator, it is heated up to temperature 850 degrees Celsius and it is carried to this boiler. After combustion, hot exhaust gas that is released, and from this steam, from this pipe, the exhaust gas which is taken out, which is exhaust gas इथून घेतल्यानंतर या हॉपर मधनं पुढे exhaust gas cleaning होतं. That is clean exhaust gas taken out from this pipe to the chimney. That exhaust gas which is taken out तेथून स्टीम जे आहे त्यातमध्ये जे हीट जनरेट होणार आहे तेथून जे स्टीम आहे स्टीम प्रेशर that is taken out from this pipe in this house. तिथून स्टीम टर्बाइन आहे. स्टीम टर्बाइन नी जे काय केलं जातं हीट अँड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट केली जाते. त्या स्टीम पॉवरचा यूज करून काय केलं जातं फ्रॉम द स्टीम टर्बाइन इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट केली जाते. इज सेंड टू दिस स्टीम टर्बाइन. त्या हाऊस मध्ये काय स्टीम टर्बाइन प्लेस केलेला आहे जिथून काय जनरेट होते इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. आणि इकडचं जे गॅस एक्झॉस्ट गॅस बाहेर पडतं तिथून त्या चिमणीमधनं एक्झॉस्ट गॅस क्लीन करून हे चिमणीमधनं ते एक्झॉस्ट गॅस बाहेर सोडलं. आणि इथून जे एक्झॉस्ट गॅस मधनं जे फ्लाय ऍश बॉयलर मध्ये जे जमा झालेलं आहे ते फ्लाय ऍश त्या इथून एक्झॉस्ट गॅस मधनं इथून जे क्लीन केल्यानंतर जे फ्लाय ऍश जमा होणार आहे त्या ते या ऑफर मध्ये जमा केलं जातं. फ्लाय ऍश इज कलेक्टेड इन दिस container. Then processing is done. It is here also after combustion of the solid waste bottom ash जे bottom ash जमा झालेलं आहे ते पुढे लँड फिलिंग साठी ते पाठवलं जातं. लँड फिलिंग इज डन in this stage and from this ash metal and materials recovery and recycling is done. The metals and materials ते रिकवर केले जातात. They are recycled and recovered. त्याला काय म्हणायचं इन्सिनरेशन. This is second step, second method of treatment. Steam waft, steam is different. Exhaust gas is different. Steam जे वाफ आहे त्याचा वेगळा हे बॉयलर एक्झॉस्ट गॅस हे वेगळं युनिट आहे. दोन्ही एक्झॉस्ट गॅस बाहेर पडतो. आफ्टर हिटिंग हॉट एक्झॉस्ट गॅस दॅट इज रिलीज आणि त्याचं जे स्टीम आहे वाफ त्याचं काय त्यासाठी वापरतात स्टीम फॉर जनरेशन ऑफ दी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. एक्झॉस्ट गॅस that is the we need to exhaust gas that is released from this exhaust pipe. हे वेगळं आहे. स्टीम हे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन करण्यासाठी त्या स्टीमचा यूज होतो. स्टीम पॉवर. एखादी आपण वेस्ट आपण जाळल्यानंतर त्याचा जो एक्झॉस्ट गॅस आहे त्याचा वाफेत काय होतं रूपांतर होतं. स्टीम that is taken out from this pipe. आणि जे एक्झॉस्ट गॅस आहे which is वेस्ट ते युजफुल नाही. that exhaust gas that is released through this exhaust pipe through this boiler. हे दोन्ही वेगवेगळे आहेत एक्झॉस्ट गॅस आणि स्टीम. समजला प्रोसेस. Any difficulty in this? the advantages and disadvantages, which include the advantages of this incineration method. Advantages can it is most hygienic method. So all the waste is it is heated. Therefore, it is converted into ash. Composting मध्ये काय केलं जातं? It is converted into humus. So all waste is burned. Therefore, it is most hygienic. Hygienic method. It will not spread any bad odor. जाळल्यानंतर त्याचं ऍश मध्ये रूपांतर होतं. त्यामध्ये काय होतं? त्यामधून काय बॅड ऑर्डर किंवा एनी गॅस any bad odor or any diseases cannot spread. Therefore, it is hygienic. Complete destruction of the pathogen. जे bacteria आहे, pathogen से completely destroy होतात. त्यामुळे त्या combustion chamber मध्ये जाळल्यानंतर जे काय pathogenic bacteria आहे ते काय होतं? जळून जातात. No odor trouble will be there. Will be odorless. And heat which is generated that may be used for steam power. जे heat generate झालेलं आहे ते कशासाठी वापरतात? Used for steam power. That steam power is for generation of the electricity. आणि त्यामध्ये जे clinkers produce झालेले आहेत, clinkers may be used for road construction. जाळल्यानंतर जे hard material तयार होतं, clinkers are formed to after combustion of the waste material. त्यामध्ये प्लास्टिक मटेरियल असतील किंवा मेटल असेल, that hard material after reacting with the after reaction the clinkers are formed. That material that are used as a road for road construction. So आपण tar or bitumen that is used for road construction or aggregates that are used for the road construction. Less space is required for this incineration. Less space is required for the combustion of the solid waste. And adverse weather condition has no effect. No effect on the climate and environment. No much effect on the environment. So disadvantage क्या है? Advantage समझना है. Advantage of this incineration. Disadvantage क्या है? Large initial expense. Initial investment is more for installing this combustion incinerators. त्याचा cost जास्त आहे. Boilers काय काय लागतं आपल्याला? Combustion incinerators, boilers, exhaust gas cleaning unit, chimneys, flash processing. So it will require the large amount. Large investment is required. Initial expenditure is more. So care and attention is required during combustion of the solid waste, because incomplete combustion it will increase the air pollution. The combustion जे solid waste तुम्ही जे use करता, which is dumped into this chamber, that should be completely burned. Incomplete जर झालं त्यामुळे काय होईल? Air pollution होईल. Air pollution त्यामुळे bad odors or any gases that may be released, due to which what happens, air pollution that may occur. This is one of the disadvantage. Residue is required to be disposed, which require money. जे residue जमा झालेले आहे आफ्टर बर्निंग, तर इथे फ्लाय ॲश इथून बाहेर पडतं, फ्लाय ॲश किंवा बॉटम ॲश, ते डंप करण्यासाठी काय लागतं? अगेन यू हॅव टू रिक्वायर व्हेकल्स फॉर कॅरिंग दिस फ्लाय ॲश आफ्टर बर्निंग. therefore it increases the cost त्याची वाढेल. Therefore large number of vehicles are required for transportation of the solid waste and transportation of this fly ash. Large vehicles, number of vehicles are required will be more. The other disadvantage. The next method is land filling. The other two methods of treatment methods of treatment or disposal methods. Next is land filling. What is land filling? Land filling at site. The waste is disposed of at the site for the disposal of the waste material by burial, and they are buried. See this. The waste material that is buried into the ground. The landfill site. On the landfill site, these waste materials are dumped. See this. So these are the oldest form of waste treatment. Nowadays, we use the modern methods of waste treatment. This is the oldest method of waste treatment. जुन्या काळी हे landfilling method use करायचे. So this is the most common method of organized waste disposal, and it remains all over the world. This landfilling technique is used, and the landfilling which is done at the site, the dumping is done with the layers of 1 to 2 meters, and that layer is covered with the soil of 20 centimeter thickness. This is layer. After dumping, that layer is covered with the soil of 20 centimeter thickness. So each layer is having thickness 1 to 2 meter. See this. Way to monitor groundwater. Landfill liner. This is trash. Trash means काय? Waste which is deposited in this landfilling. म्हणजे excavate केलेला आहे. Trench is excavated. The aquifer ग्राउंड वॉटर इथे एक वेल घेतलेला आहे. वेल मी हायड्रोलॉजी मध्ये स्टडी केलाय. व्हॅक्युफर बिलो द ग्राउंड लेवल. इथे एक बोर घेतलेला आहे. वेल टू मॉनिटर द ग्राउंड वॉटर, त्याची लेवल पाण्यासाठी. इथपर्यंत पाण्याची लेवल आहे. टू ऑब्झर्व द वॉटर लेवल. त्याच्यापेक्षा जर हे वॉटर लेवल जर वाढलं, इट इज इन्क्रीज, इट विल मिक्स विथ this, it will come in contact with this solid waste. Therefore, what happens? It will mix with water, with this water, and the solid waste, that is, after mixing this with this water, liquid waste will be formed. ते ट्रॅश इथे जमा झालं पहा. तर मध्ये काय, मिथेन गॅस रिकव्हरी सिस्टीम. यामध्ये आफ्टर डिपॉझिशन ऑफ द सॉलिड वेस्ट 1 ते 2 मीटर मध्ये ते डिपॉझिट केल्यानंतर त्यावर त्या लेअरवर सॉइल जे आहे ते कव्हर केलं जातं. क्ले कॅप, त्यावरनं क्ले कॅप, हे क्ले कॅप जे आहे म्हणजे मातीचा जो थर आहे ते यावर त्या सॉलिड वेस्ट वर ते टाकलं जातं. सॉइल इज लेड ऑन दिस सॉलिड वेस्ट. त्यातून यामधनं जे आफ्टर डिकम्पोजिशन द गॅस विच इज रिलीज फ्रॉम दिस पाईप, मिथेन गॅस रिकव्हरी सिस्टीम इथे प्रोव्हाइड केलेला आहे. फ्रॉम दिस द गॅस विच इज जनरेटेड has it taken out methane gas, and from this pipe leachate treatment system, landfill liner is a landfill liner is given. Leachate collection system. Leachate म्हणजे काय, it is a liquid waste, जे खाली जमा झालेले लिक्विड वेस्ट ते या पाईप मध्ये इथून ते बाहेर काढलं जातं इथे, आणि या लिचेट ट्रीटमेंट सिस्टीम मध्ये त्याचं ट्रीटमेंट केलं जातं. It is treated, leachate is treated in this unit. Leachate treatment unit, leachate treatment system इथे प्रोव्हाइड केलेला आहे. To treat the leachate which is deposited at the base of this solid waste. समझला है? This is a modern landfilling method. Advantage of these methods, it is the simplest method. Process समझला क्या? This is a modern landfilling method. So, in oldest method, only after making the trenches, that trash or refuse जे solid waste जे आहे ते डिपॉझिट केलं जातं आणि त्यावरनं माती टाकली जाते, and is filled layer by layer. हे जे सिस्टीम आहे मॉडर्न लँडफिलिंग मेथड आहे, ज्यामध्ये आपण काय यूज केलेलं आहे, लँडफिल लायनर आफ्टर एक्सकेव्हेटिंग द ट्रेंच, लँडफिलिंग लायनर हे करून घेतलेलं आहे, आणि त्यामध्ये खाली एक पाईप लिचेट कलेक्ट करण्यासाठी इथे बसवलेले आहे. इथून हे त्यामधनं हे इथे पंपिंग सिस्टीम जे जोडलेलं आहे, इथून हे लिचेट त्यामधनं बाहेर पडतं, आणि इथून मिथेन गॅस जे जनरेट झालेलं आहे या पाईप मधनं मिथेन गॅस बाहेर पडतं, आणि ते मिथेन गॅस यूज केलं जातं. फॉर मिथेन गॅस माहिती आहे कशासाठी यूज करतात? It is used as a fuel. For trash यावरनं क्ले कॅप दिलेला आहे आणि ते वेल घेतलेला आहे टू ऑब्झर्व द वॉटर लेवल. इज अ मॉडर्न मेथड ऑफ लँड फिलिंग. त्याची ऍडव्हान्टेज काय? इज अ सिम्पलेस्ट मेथड. इज सिंपल मेथड अदर दॅन incineration method, mechanical composting method. No costly plants are required. जसं मेकॅनिकल कंपोस्टिंग मेथड मध्ये त्यामध्ये बॉयलर्स किंवा इन्सिनरेटर्स लागतात. तसेच याच्यामध्ये इन्सिनरेशन मध्ये बॉयलर्स आणि काय लागतात? चिमनीज, बॉयलर्स, exhaust gas and incinerators are required, which are costlier. But in this, it is less cost. It will the cost is less, and no residues or byproducts need to be disposed. The byproducts are residues that are not to be disposed of. Separation is also not required. Separation of the solid waste is not required. Unused land can be used. The unused land that can be used for this land filling purpose. And methane gas that can be used as fuel. Disadvantages can advantages of this land filling method. What are these disadvantages? Disadvantages are large land is required. See this land area is more. Proper dumping site may not be available. Dumping करण्यासाठी जे site लागणार आहे, so that will not be available. Open space will not be available. Large area is required. Then it will create odor problem. Methane gas त्यामधून बाहेर पडते. त्यामुळे it will spread in the nearby area. There may be chances of spreading diseases. Then it will create a health-related problems. And use of insecticides required. फवारणी करण्याचे जे chemicals आहेत, insecticides are required for this land filling. And also leachate should be collected regularly to avoid any spreading of the bad odor or to avoid any pollution, water pollution. It should be collected regularly. And methane gas, it should be collected properly with proper care. Otherwise, methane gas it is combustible. So there may be chances of heating, chances of there may be burning. So it should be carefully handled. There may be greenhouse gas problem or storage of this gas. The other disadvantages. Next method is pyrolysis. So pyrolysis means it is a process of heating of solid waste at very high temperature in the absence of air. In the absence of air, the solid waste is heated at a high temperature. That temperature is maintained in between 500 to 1000 degree Celsius. किती टेम्परेचर ला हीट केला जाता 500 to 1000 degree Celsius. So after heating of this solid waste, tars, it is given H2 hydrogen, CH4. Gas, liquid and chars are the byproducts of this process. So processing केल्यानंतर काय बाहेर पडतं liquid fuel, gases, char, that is taken out. Tars म्हणजे जे नंबर आहे H2 CH4 ते आम्हाला बाहेर पडतं. Fuel is generated. Charcoal that is taken out. The byproduct of this method. Feedstock, see this process feedstock by oil burner, oil pyrolysis reactor. त्यामध्ये वेगवेगळे युनिट दिलेले आहे. Cyclone char collection, system by oil storage. See this process. So solid waste which is taken into this chamber, feedstock इथून हे solid waste या ऑफर मध्ये ते हीट केलं जातं by the burner आहे ते. Burning is done, it is burned. This process by oil pyrolysis reactor. In this offer it is heated and so boil oil that is shown with this color that is taken out. Cyclone and char collection is made in this chamber. The color is shown by black color. Char इथे जमा झाला पहा चारकोल या युनिट मध्ये. इथून हे प्रोसेसिंग केल्यानंतर पुढे या ऑफर मध्ये येते quench liquid that is collected in this chamber. The quench liquid जे फॉर्म झालेलं आहे तेथून या सिस्टम मध्ये जमा होते. The recycled gases which are released from that is taken out, that is shown by this blue color. Blue color that is shown here. Blue color. Recycled gases that is taken out. Quench liquid. This is quench liquid. Char is that is shown in this by black color. Charcoal. By oil. Okay. That is collected in this storage tank by oil storage tank. The by oil. The feedstock where feeding is done. Solid waste which is fed into this hopper. So this is a process of pyrolysis. Next method recycling. Recycling means processing used materials. After processing on the solid waste materials, they are converted into new products. त्याला काय म्हणायचं recycling. After treatment on the raw materials, raw waste, it is converted into new products. It reduces the consumption of fresh raw material. Recycling it reduces the consumption of the fresh raw material. The fresh raw material that are not consumed, consumption of the raw materials will be reduced. Reduces the energy usage, reducing the air pollution from incineration. Water pollution can be reduced. In landfilling मध्ये काय होतं? Water pollution, leachate that is formed that will create water pollution. Air pollution कशामध्ये ते? Incineration मध्ये. जाळल्यानंतर काय होत आहे? वेस्ट झाल्यानंतर it pollute the air pollution. In this method, it will reduce this air pollution, water pollution, reduce the energy usage and consumption of the raw materials that can be reduced. When these materials are recycled, in which modern waste reduction is done. This is the third component of this waste hierarchy. Reduce, reuse, recycle. यामध्ये हा तिसरा जो आहे component आहे recycle. So recyclable materials जे waste जमा झाले त्यामधनं जे ग्लास आहे, ग्लास, पेपर्स, मेटल ऑफ डिफरंट काइंड, ग्लास मध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे ग्लास बॉटल्स असतील, पेपर मध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे पेपर्स, that include newspapers. These materials are reused, recycled. मेटल मध्ये अल्युमिनियम असेल, कॉपर असेल, ब्रास, स्टील that are separated, plastic material, plastic bottles, plastic articles that are separated. Textile मध्ये any clothes, काही कापड वेगळ्या प्रकारचे कापड असतील ते वेगळे केले जातात. They are recycled. Electronic material असतील, त्याला broken material असतील, electronic equipment असेल, wires, त्यामध्ये काही switches असतील, electrical boards असतील, that are used as that can be recycled. Electronic equipment. This is a non-biodegradable and which are not non-biodegradable and which are not degraded, that are used for कशाला यूज केले जातात? That are recycled, that is used for recycling. So food and garden waste that are biodegradable waste, after decomposition they are not used, but the materials that can be reused and recycled, that materials are collected. So that materials are either brought to a collection center or picked up from the curb side. जिथे कर्ब साइड आहे, एनी लाईन आहे, तिथे ते सॉर्ट केले जातात. सॉर्टिंग इज डन, दे आर क्लीन अँड रिप्रोसेस्ड इनटू न्यू मटेरियल्स. त्यावर प्रोसेसिंग करून ते मटेरियल रियूज केले जातात. दिस इज वेस्ट रिसायकलिंग. यामध्ये सेक्शन पेजेस दिए वहाँ पे रखा होगा, टेबल पे नहीं. fingers there. This is waste recycling. The waste which is recycled, see this, the waste which is collected from the industries, from the residential buildings, that is recycled. दाखवलं पाहिजे flow diagram मध्ये. Cardboards and paper waste that is collected in this container, they are used as a recycled paper. The recycling करून ते use केलेलं. This is recycled paper. त्यानंतर ash दाखवलं पहा. Ash which is wasted, that is used for the in construction, that fly ash that may be used for concreting low cost housing. Then that ash is for different purposes in construction industries. For making the building materials, etc. Then waste yarn fibers, जे waste yarn आहे. yarn म्हणजे काय? फॅब्रिक असेल, कपडे असतील किंवा धागे असतील ते साठी वापरतात. कार्पेट अंडरले, कार्पेट फॉर मेकिंग द carpets. These are for carpet purpose. That yarn is used. Then extrusion and packing of cut waste. Plastic tables, chairs बनवण्यासाठी जे प्लास्टिक मटेरियल आहे ते कशासाठी यूज करतात? For making plastic chairs and table. Then carpet waste, cutouts and rejects. जे carpet waste है, ये कशासाठी यूज करतात? Low cost drugs, for making drugs that are used. In this way, this recycling is done. Some other recycling method, difficulty is asked. Okay, here we will stop. Next lecture we will see the remaining part. Here we have seen the different methods of treatment and disposal of solid waste. Okay.